the back wants to play, we'll play.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hold Up, the show where we dive deep inside your childhood nostalgia, pull the movies from your past to see if they hold up. And on this, the day of the last Summer Blockbuster, I'm Hold Up with Andrew.
It's just me.
Just you.
There's no Kyle.
No Kyle.
We filed a restraining order against him.
We did, and it went through finally.
Yeah, we can't really discuss the particulars, but it's for good reason.
Kyle's off celebrating the fact that he's going to be a father. Congratulations, Kyle.
Yeah. Congrats. Just reproducing. It's what we all do. It's what we all have to do, right? You know,
we're all animals at heart.
We're all creatures. But yes, congrats, Kyle and Erica.
Yeah.
Girl parents.
He's out traveling with his lovely wife, so we thought we'd give him a break, and we pick up the slack today.
Oh, yeah. We thought we would give him a break.
But what's your favorite type of movie, Andrew?
My favorite type of movie?
I know the answer. It's a redemption story.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Today's the best redemption story ever, right?
Sure. Yeah. If that's what you really think.
We're flashing back to season 1. We watched Batman and Robin, as everyone in the audience knows.
One of the greatest works of art and cinema that has ever been consumed by anyone.
Right, and the one that cost us a lot of time in therapy.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst movies we ever saw.
It led to Kyle's downfall. It's part of the reason that we filed a restraining order.
It's the reason he didn't want to be on here today.
It triggers him a great deal, so...
We thought Batman and Robin and Joel Schumacher, they deserve a redemption story, right?
Yeah,
So,
Joel Schumacher is a consummate artist, a consummate pro. He deserves any and all redemptions.
so we're looking at Batman Forever. It was on purpose that we went with Batman and Robin last time, because Batman and Forever was 95.
Correct.
It was a little... not ahead of our time, but we were both infants.
I mean, I was not even 3 yet, or just turning 3 when it came out.
Right,
so.
and I was 4 years old, so...
But, I mean, I watched them, like, consecutively when I was age. Like, they were one and the same to me, you know what I mean?
They were a big part of our childhood because it was treated as, you know, the 1-2 punch, the Joel Schumacher Batmans, and that was our childhood Batman. We looked at Batman and Robin first because it was a little older, and we remember it more vividly as kids, although I have a lot of staple memories from this movie when it released and therefore after.
I just remember Jim Carrey, the Riddler, that green outfit, like that was what stuck out to me. When I was younger, like I think I was obsessed with that villain, that character. That was to me like bigger than the Joker at the time, because I hadn't really been truly exposed to the Joker, because I don't even think I had watched Batman. What's the one with Michael Keaton? What's the one before this in like 89?
Batman and Batman Returns.
Is it Batman Returns?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't really watched those. Those were a little bit more mature, I guess, when I was like 5 or 6. So the Riddler was like...
They were much darker.
They were
not for kids, but...
They're much better, too. But I didn't say that. The Riddler was...
A lot of things were much better than this. But.
Fascinating. The obnoxious suits and Jim Carrey just being the eclectic, enthusiastic individual that he is. So.
And this was at the point, too, where his career was taking off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this wasn't peak Jim Carrey, but like he was a huge.
He was becoming a superstar.
I mean, didn't Ace Ventura come out a year before this?
Yes.
Or something like that?
Yeah.
So like, he was big.
Right.
Dumb and Dumber was shortly after this, I believe. So like, this was, I mean, 90s. Was it peak Jim Carrey, or was it like on the crest to peak Jim Carrey? It was.
I think this was the time where his career started to really take off and like launch him into that next level, because late 90s, early 2000s is where he was just on fire. He was in everything.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind,
Man on the
Truman
Moon.
Show, Man on the Moon, all that. Yeah, that was probably like 99 to like 2007.
Yeah.
So this is the precursor to that, but like still.
He was taking more wacky roles in this early.
Yeah.
Like he started taking serious roles after this.
Yeah.
It felt like, or at least like mixing them in a little bit more and really showing his skill as an actor. Because at this time he was just seen as like this comedy icon.
I mean, it was like Ace Ventura, like
Dumb and Dumber,
repeating itself over and over.
Right,
again.
and then this movie too is like,
alrighty then.
he had some of that like flair in this movie.
Oh,
as
yeah.
like a psychopath, but he didn't really. The character didn't fit as much, or the Riddler character, but I
They just
digress.
threw crazy Jim Carrey in there and said, "Go be fucking weird," and that's what he did.
Did you watch a lot of Batman stuff when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, Batman was my thing. Batman was my favorite.
Do you
Still is, honestly, but
Big comic book guy?
I wouldn't say I'm that level of nerd. I haven't read too many comic books if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So, but I've explored all Batman and Robin, the cartoon, Batman Beyond, all that stuff. I loved it. I consumed it like it was fucking cereal. It was nothing I would turn down ever.
Yeah.
So.
I liked the Batman movies as a kid, but I was a normal kid. I loved superheroes. So
I had all of the action figures from this Batman series.
Yeah.
Freeze, Riddler, Poison Ivy. Like I had all of that stuff. So
do you feel like this movie staying power lasted longer because there was a lot of merchandise around it?
yes. Yeah.
Because it came out in 95, and every time I look at that or see that, I'm like, wow, it's older than I expected. Because I was always under the impression it was like 97 without like looking or knowing the facts, because that just feels so right.
Spring of 95, baby.
Yeah, because I had the Sega Genesis game, which ironically is voted one of the worst games of all
ever.
time. Have you ever gotten to play it?
No.
There is PTSD warning for anyone out there listening to this that played this game. There's this opening sequence where you're playing as Batman. It's this 2D side scroller, but a beat 'em up too, and it's got that Mortal Kombat kind of visualized graphics. Where
Did they make this for the Game Gear by chance?
I think so.
Then I might have played it.
The
So-
Sega Genesis was by far one of the worst versions of this game, one of the worst ports. The first segment I could never beat. I had to get my brother to show me how, and he couldn't figure it out. Because if you played a Sega Genesis, there's only 3 buttons.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as like an NES. You don't have like a lot of options for combos. But they use the start button for his grappling hook. And there's a segment where you see this just like little hole in the ceiling, and you have to grapple up onto the next level of the roof. And no one could figure it out.
They made video games so much more difficult for kiddos back then than they do now.
And then on top of that, they added like voice clips from the movie that didn't fit in with what you were doing in the game, and they were so just staticky you could not hear anything that they said. And it opens with Tommy Lee Jones saying, "If the Bat wants to play, we'll play," as the Sega logo scrolls across the screen.
That's beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, it's terrible. So I remember that, and then we talked about Burger King. Why not talk about McDonald's on this episode? Do you remember the cups?
Oh yeah.
We had like 3 of those.
I had a couple myself. I had at least 4 or 5.
I will tell everybody back home, and I'll stand on this. I'll stand on this business. Those cups were very well made.
Yeah, they were solid. I used those for breakfast like every single morning.
Those are still in a lot of
Yeah.
people's like kitchens. That was made from like plexiglass.
Glass, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were sculpted well. Very
if
well.
someone came into your house and tried to rob you and started firing random 9mm bullets in the air, you can grab one of those cups, fend off the bullets, and bash that person in the skull with it and survive the night. I guarantee.
Or hold it in front of your face and it won't go through. You're gonna get a reflection there from that bullet. That's how thick those fuckers were.
It was thicker than anything Batman ever used in this movie.
But they were good collectible cups. Like I wish I knew where those were. I'd keep them. I'd use them.
Yeah, people still sell them.
I bet those things were so durable. I bet you could drink coffee out of them and nothing would happen. I'm not even kidding you. No melting, nothing.
But you
Those
do
would be
know
fine.
that those are the type of cups you put in the microwave now and like heat up, and then you touch it and you're
you
like
get cancer.
Yeah, you've got like some sort of like colon cancer at that point.
Within 2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
instant. Yeah, instant. Terminal.
I take them. I would stack those chemicals in my cupboard if I had them. I would do it.
Well, and you mentioned earlier, we're talking about the cups now, but you mentioned earlier about the Tim Burton Batmans.
Oh, yeah.
And we have to mention those before we dive into this movie, too, because those movies started these movies.
Yeah, and they tried to make it a continuation.
Yeah. So Tim Burton, for anyone who doesn't know, was signed on to do Batman Forever. It was going to be called Batman Continues.
What a great name. They should have stuck with that, honestly.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, I do like the name Batman Forever. I think it's
a good name.
It fits the 90s like comic book style, and it's okay. Yeah, and so
it also just fits the same like stigma of Batman movies, like Batman Beyond, Batman Begins. It fits that mantra.
Right. So. Batman goes in for a dental exam. It fits the mantra, and it worked at the time. But he originally signed on for that. One of the biggest reasons that Tim Burton left the project is because of what we just talked about, McDonald's.
Really?
McDonald's saw the first two Batman, especially Batman Returns, the one with, Danny DeVito playing the Penguin.
I honestly, I want to go back and watch those.
They're solid. And, they're different world.
Yeah.
He had a different take on Batman. But McDonald's was like, how can we market to kids if you're showing this grotesque world and people vomiting green slime? I guess green slime is off the table for McDonald's. I don't know. They kind of pitched a fit over it. And then a lot of other toy manufacturers kind of got involved, and the studio was like, okay, well, we need to go to a different direction so we can make more money.
Because these are big money makers. And their marketability is one thing that keeps them afloat and kept them afloat.
Because you're just going to make profit alone off kids' toys.
Yes.
And we talked about this with the Batman and Robin movie. We talked about this with several other movies in the 90s. If toys were not being able to be manufactured out of these movies,
they'd be fucked.
Right.
They'd be losing shit left and right.
And there was a lot of these movies that weren't even kid appropriate making toys for kids.
Yeah.
Made a lot of money. And you said it. You had some of the Batman Forever action figures.
I had almost all of the good ones.
Exactly. And I had some too. I had the game. I had the Sega Genesis game. So we were part of that culture that would buy Batman Forever stuff or Batman Robin stuff, Batman whatever. It was comic book. It was easy for parents because you knew that there's a certain level that you're getting out of it.
We were the perfect guinea pigs for their shit.
So Tim Burton steps down, right? He's no longer going to do Batman. And then they appoint Joel Schumacher to take his place.
How would you equate that in coaching football transitions? You go from Tim Burton to Joel Schumacher. What is that like, Chase? Give me a good analogy here, since we're close to the start of football season.
Yeah, you could go many different directions with that. I almost would say, since we were talking about Auburn earlier, I think you could do that from Gus Malzahn to Brian Harsin.
Oh, God. Oh, yes, that's perfect.
For all my Auburn friends, you know what that means. So
this is a bad change in terms of, artistic command and
everything, even personality.
Yeah.
But I will say this: they were originally talking about Joel Schumacher's idea for the script because a script was written by Burton, or at least Burton's team. They were going to get Marlon Wayans to play Robin. I can't remember who they were going to have play the Riddler.
Marlon Wayans as Robin.
Yeah,
man. Thank God Chris O'Donnell kept that. Yeah. What else would he have done? What else would he be?
Well, the Riddler was going to have a rat too. I don't know if you knew that.
Why?
I don't.
Is that something from the comic books?
No. Tim Burton was like, "Hey, no. If we're going to do this, Riddler gets a rat.
I want my vermin or not." That's weird, but that tracks with Tim.
Yeah.
I feel like he has an affinity for vermin and underground creatures, but
yeah. So with Tim Burton leaving the project, now he's producing. So he's still I think he's the one that talked about Joel Schumacher being the best choice for director. I don't know why. But Joel Schumacher started casting after that. Michael Keaton left, obviously. And Joel landed on Val Kilmer because of his work in Tombstone. That was the main reason.
Great movie.
Val Kilmer was picked.
He's great in Tombstone.
It's funny because there is a story where Val Kilmer says that he got the call to play Batman while he was in a bat cave filming The Ghost in the Darkness, which is a good movie as well.
Hey, that's cool. That's poetic.
Yeah.
So you said you couldn't remember who Tim Burton or who they had originally had for the Riddler.
Well, it was Robin Williams, wasn't it?
It was Robin Williams.
Yeah, and he got fucked over twice, if I'm not mistaken.
And they also, for Two-Face, it was supposed to be Billy D. Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, so Billy D. actually played Harvey Dent in, I think, was it Batman Returns or Batman that he played?
So it was in one of those.
Yeah, and he was signed on for 3 movies.
Yeah, but I don't know what fell through.
They bought him out because they just didn't want to use him.
That's a shame, because I remember him being decent. I remember liking him a bit more, maybe, than Tommy Lee.
He just wanted Tommy Lee. So this cast, there's not a whole lot of like, how did we find the perfect Batman? He kind of knew who he wanted when he went through. And it's a shame that Robin Williams never got to play the Riddler because he's always wanted to do that. And I think he was quoted as saying that he got screwed over twice by Batman. So it's always interesting.
Oh well, we got what we got, dude, and we have to live with it, and we have to just accept it for what it is. We're not changing the past, so
we're not. And speaking of the past, I want some juicy numbers.
You want some numbers, bro?
I want some numbers from the past.
All right. Do you want
this thing have a hefty budget? Just to answer that question first off,
I think this is a hefty number.
Okay,
100 mil
for 95. Yeah,
that's quite a bit.
That's quite lofty.
I don't know, just for inflation and other things.
That's like $6.3 billion.
I don't know what it is, but it's probably close to like at least half a bill now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. But yeah, $100 million budget domestic opening.
I bet it crushed that. I bet over time.
Yeah, I mean, so domestic opening, which is what, like first week or whatever, 52 million. So they got half that back.
Just like that.
Instantaneously. Yeah. And then altogether, domestic gross was 184 million, international was 152 million, and then worldwide like 340 million. Nice. 336 if you want to be, particular, but 336 million altogether. Yeah. And it's probably made more on top of that with all the merchandising and other shit. So yeah, they made it back.
That's why they greenlit a sequel pretty quickly, too.
They tripled it.
Yeah, definitely made a lot of money. We'll talk about some of the tension on set. We'll talk about that.
Oh, good. I want to know the dirty, juicy details, Daddy.
And we'll pick them up as we go. But, Andrew, where does this movie start?
So the movie opens as Two-Face, former DEA Harvey Dent, is holding a hostage in a bank vault. Do you remember the particulars of what happened here?
No, I wanted to catch you on. Do you remember the opening sequence was the same as the other Schumacher?
It was similar.
Where it's like Batman putting on his like sexy rubber suit.
Yep.
And still got the nipples and whatnot.
Yep.
But that caught me off guard. I was like, oh, we're doing this again. And then it just cuts to Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones. And let me just say this about Tommy Lee Jones' performance as Two-Face. You will never see him in another role like this.
Never again.
Like, how would you describe it? Like, he's just kind of cartoonish,
kind of slapstick in a way. It's very over the top and eccentric. It's not typical Tommy Lee. Not even close. You think of this like good old boy down south and soft-spoken but intelligent. That this ain't Tommy Lee at all.
And how would you describe his attire in this?
Fucking stupid.
It's like half his suit is normal, and then the other half is kind of like this look. He looks like he's in a Blink-182 cover band. It is like off the wall, kind of like leopard pink, bright, kind of crazy.
Yeah, and his face is painted so poorly. Like the costume and makeup is not my favorite.
Yeah, his face turned purple.
Yeah, it's just there's too much makeup.
Right.
There's too much makeup.
And if anybody out there doesn't know, Harvey Dent, the lawyer, gets acid thrown in his eyes, which they briefly show you this in this movie for exposition.
Yeah.
But he gets acid thrown in his face, which eats away at half his face. He flips a coin.
So paint his face like almost purple.
Right, and his hair is purple. If he got acid in his eyes or his face, it would eat away at his hair, right? It wouldn't just turn his hair purple. It's not hair dye. So it made no sense seeing him, and it's very distracting. But anyway, he's basically robbing a bank, and this is where Batman gets the call. He shows up, though, in this like hostage situation outside, and that's where we meet Nicole Kidman.
Yes, and she is supposed to be a sex symbol immediately.
Why is she on the front lines of this, too? She's like a psychologist.
She's a psychologist who's fascinated and wants to understand why Batman does what he does and who he is and why he is.
She's fascinated more than just that because
she wants to fuck him. I mean, he pretty much gets right to it.
Gretchen, if you're listening, which you're not, this is one of the worst female characters we've ever seen written on the show.
Yeah, truly.
I'm going to go ahead and give you that one right there.
Truly awful. Don't think it even passes the best Bechdel test.
Not even close.
No.
I don't even think she sniffs another woman in this movie.
She has a lot of lines. Like she's a pretty prevalent character in this.
And she is all about Batman giving these like sexual innuendos to each other and these jokes and all this, these wink, wink, nod, nod. Commissioner Gordon is trying to prep Batman. He's like, Two-Face is in there, bank being robbed, there's hostages. It's something that simple. And Batman's like, okay. And he goes in, and I think he fights a couple of the guards. And as he's doing that, he goes to the safe where one of the bank security guards is tied up. He's thrown in. He's got tape over his mouth. So Batman goes in to take the tape off. And when he does, he's like, no, it's a trap. And then
he gets locked in the safe or whatever.
The safe gets locked up. And this big fucking helicopter comes out of nowhere and pulls the entire safe. It's a bunch of safe deposit boxes, and he pulls the safe out of the damn bank, and it starts hovering over the city. And this security guard that is a hostage only exists to give us exposition.
That's it.
He's he is saying what we all are thinking. So as they're flying up, you see this this liquid start shooting into this safety deposit box. I don't know.
It's an acid.
Yeah.
It's going to burn them alive or whatever.
You know how we know that, Andrew? Because he says, it's acid. And so it starts piling into this safe as the helicopter's just speeding through this city, somehow controlling this massive safe.
And I think Batman's doing his best Spider-Man. He's hugging the corner of that safe.
He's holding the guard up
yep.
as all this. I don't know how this acid got in there or how you would even rig a safe to even propel that much acid, but he's trying to drown Batman in acid. And the guard just keeps giving exposition. He's like, my hearing aid, as Batman pulls the hearing aid out of his ear. Yeah. My shoes are melting. He's saying all kinds of weird shit. What are you doing? Why are you putting the hearing aid up against the door? Are you using frequency to open the door?
Honestly, that character was like a side character that you would expect from Christmas Vacation. I kept thinking of the mailman who delivers the envelope on Christmas Eve. It was that prototype of an actor of a character.
Yeah.
Just literally there for one small purpose, some tropes, and then to move shit along.
There's apparently a 3-hour cut of this, so I wonder how much more time we get with this security guard in this incident. And people want the 3-hour cut. So he's doing all that. Batman uses the hearing aid and the frequency to blow the door off the
Smart
safe.
thinking.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is truly a genius.
Truly a genius. Thank God that security guard had a hearing aid, because if not...
And thank God Batman was there to put that in motion, because otherwise he would have been mush. He would have been mush meat, baby.
And then he gets up into the helicopter, right? So now he's trying to steer the helicopter, which has a steering wheel. I just wanted to point that out.
Don't helicopters have some sort of
This was a BMW steering wheel. This was not.
I bet they didn't film inside an actual copter then.
You don't think?
No, I'm thinking
$100 million budget. They didn't pull a safe full of acid around.
$100 million. You can make it look like they did that, but you got to be cheap. You got to be cheap when you have $100 million, Chase. Come on.
And so, just speeding along here, they obviously get out of this. You find out Two-Face is trying to capture Batman.
He's set all this shit up to get him to show up.
That's your plot. Two-Face wants revenge on Batman.
Yeah, because he burned his face, even though
he blames them for.
Even though he didn't.
He didn't do anything.
He didn't do jack shit. Yeah. So.
He blames him for the crime or something. I don't know. It's stupid. But that's how this movie is. This movie has no semblance of a plot at all.
No.
We just gave it to you.
It's just careless.
Careless. And then when we get to the Riddler, it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
As they're flying the helicopter, did you notice all the the structures of the city? We talk about Batman from Tim Burton's perspective, and it had this nice gothic architecture, and it looked like another world almost, right?
This one, it's similar to Batman and Robin.
It's a city of statues.
A city of statues. It's drop sets on a stage for a play.
Yeah.
like backgrounds. It's
Everything
shoddily
is
put up.
elevated.
Yeah.
There's no one lives. It's almost like I almost said it was like that Star Wars world where everything's in the clouds.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
I don't understand why they had to make it look like they were on like the set of like fucking Candyland. Like it's literally like you're on a board game. Like it's not real. There's nothing real about it. You got $100 million to create a dark world of Batman, and you settle with that. Like it looks like everything's made of fucking cardboard too.
Yeah.
So
it did not look real.
No.
And then what happens? He basically saves a security guard.
And Two-Face gets away.
So this opening scene is a big waste of time.
It was there to show the tension between Batty and Tutu. That's what it was for.
That's what we're going to name this episode.
Batty and Tutu.
And there was one point, too, where Bruce is like at the office in Wayne Tech or whatever.
Yeah, this is shortly after that.
Yeah.
This is where we're introduced to Edward Nygma.
Yeah, he's going through Wayne Tech doing audits or whatever, and Edward Nygma, or
Enigma. Ooh, wow. Great play on words there. Very creative.
And as Bruce Wayne's walking through the tech part of this organization, Edward ends up trying to pitch his wares of this
he has this like unauthorized invention that he has created to manipulate people's brainwaves.
Which why would you share that? Like that is
that's like red flag right there.
That's felony worthy.
No, dude, you're gonna get fucking fired and put in jail for manipulating people's minds. And why?
And Mr. Wayne, or Batman, or Mr. Batman, if you will, using his greatest detective mind, doesn't pick up on the fact that this dude's trying to manipulate people's brain waves.
And one of the selling points that Mr. Enigma made was that this manipulation channels television programs into people's minds. Right. That's real. That's a real plot line. That's a real thing.
Yeah, and he's introducing this to a tech company.
He's introducing this to a billionaire who pretty much
should have fired him and called the police immediately.
But like, this is the biggest person in like Gotham City, aka New York.
That's like you pitching your idea for a pet security system to Bill Gates. Like it's
here he just
not gonna work.
He smiles and nods and like walks by and is like, all right, make note of that fucking whack job.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is like at this point, like he's like, I'll have him fired. And he's like, no, don't fire him. And I was like, no, fire him, call the police. Like you confiscate all of that shit. You can't do this. You're Batman. This is the reason that Harvey Dent got shit thrown in his eyes. Yeah. So now I'm starting to root for Two-Face on this one. But in some segment of this, Jim Carrey plays this character pretty well at this point.
Yeah, he does.
He's not quite annoying. He'll get annoying later. But the guy like pulls him aside. I guess is the manager of that
Fred Stickley.
Area. Yeah, Fred Stickley.
That's a well-known actor.
Yeah, and he actually probably put the best performance in this movie. And I'm not even kidding.
We got to say his name because he was the dad in Pineapple Express. He's been in tons of shit. Ed Begley Jr. I noticed him right away. I wasn't sure if it was him, but turns out, yes, it was. You know, he was in Better Call Saul.
Yep.
He's been a great working actor for decades, but he pretty much confronts Nygma on his bullshit, and
basically he's about to fire him.
He does fire him.
Yeah.
He fires him.
And even though Bruce was like, don't do that, like he's got passion, which again shows Batman is not a great detective in this movie because he's just missing a bunch of red flags, as you said.
I mean, you got a dude who's created some weird fucking brainwave manipulation tool made of like crystals and like weirdly shaped glass. Like, why would you want that fucking dude working at Wayne Tech?
No.
Get him gone. Get him gone yesterday.
And speaking of working at Wayne Tech, so after all this, Bruce goes back to the Bat Lair from Wayne Tech.
Yes.
And he uses a tunnel. And I was like, one, who made the tunnel? How did they not know that they were building a tunnel from Wayne Tech to this Bat Lair full of equipment, I guess, or this Bat Cave? I'm sure there was no equipment in it. But you're tunneling across the city. Does anyone like wonder and think like when all this like expensive tech starts showing up and Batman starts showing up as a vigilante that these migrant workers weren't like, hey,
I mean,
that tunnel we built for that billionaire.
let's be honest, there's a lot of indicators that
into a bat cave.
There's
He's
a lot
Batman.
of indicators over the entire Batman lore that Bruce Wayne is Batman, but no one seems to want to question it. So we'll just no questioning.
That really threw me off. I was like, that is an extraordinary construction job right there. There was less cost in building the streets of Atlanta than there were to build that tunnel.
Fucking tunnel. Yeah, you know. But hey, he's a billionaire. He can do what he wants. He probably makes people sign NDAs. Let it be. And we move on.
So
Fred Stickley fires Nygma, and do you think Edward takes this well?
No,
Chase?
He doesn't. And we're going to skip a lot. There's like a scene with Nicole Kidman in lingerie because she wears lingerie everywhere she goes.
Or just like
yeah. And I do want to mention Bruce Wayne himself is hitting on Nicole Kidman's character, and they're kind of like casually dating, I guess you would say. They're like going to events together and stuff. But she's like, I have another love, and it's Batman, everybody. It's Batman. But that'll come into play later. But
it will.
But Edward, on the
he gets fired by Stickley, and what does he do to him?
What do you think, Andrew? He uses the brainwave
He hooks
machine.
him up to his brainwave machine and like melts his brain
and sucks out the knowledge, I think, because he puts
he puts a dumb like childhood
it's
like
basically
television.
a giant green blender.
Yeah,
and then he puts another stick on his head, looks like a plunger, and the brain waves leave the person that's watching it, and Edward gets smarter.
He puts on some stupid like child like television show.
Never explained.
It's never explained. It's like the equivalent of like Teletubbies, but like even like more dull. And that is what Robert, is that his name? Robert?
Yeah.
No, Fred. Excuse me. Fred Stickley like sees, and he becomes a zombie essentially, while whatever knowledge or capabilities he have leave and go into Edward's brain.
And that's like, and it's 3D, so
Yeah.
it looks like he's just watching a 3D movie.
This sounds really fucking stupid, people.
Because it is.
Because it is. It's dumb. And then after his brain's been melted, he's like, oh, where am I? Edward yeets him out of the office building and just fucking kills him. And he goes down some like giant like waterfall to like hundreds of feet below, and we assume he dies while he's like taped to his office
so like
chair.
where did the waterfall come from?
Yeah.
Like the city ordinance of this, like
Again,
the zoning here.
The setup too of the set, like it's just a little.
I think he's still falling to this day.
Yes.
But and then somehow like you see some of this happen on the security cam footage. So you see the security cam footage of Edward throwing him off the throwing him out of the skyscraper, and then the cops are investigating the death the next day. They find a suicide note.
Yeah, and
a riddle.
A riddle, which I don't remember what it fucking says. It was something stupid. They were all dumb. But Nygma also...
They looked cool, though. I will say this. As a kid,
they did.
I thought the riddles looked pretty cool.
Yes.
They were like these cool little pop-up books, and it's like, once was a rat, always a rat, you're a rat, like kind of thing like that.
Yeah. Again, it's like they're like little mini pieces from like a board game. That's how I look at them. That's how I fucking look at this movie. It's one giant board game with like an elaborate set, and every little nugget is like your little like, your character piece or the piece that goes with your character piece.
And this is the plot we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So now he's out for vengeance on Bruce Wayne because...
Well, Bruce didn't like his
mind,
because he thought it might be dangerous and possibly illegal and just morally corrupt. Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure, Edward. But yeah, so at this point, I don't remember exactly.
They checked the security camera, and it just shows him running out of the skyscraper and killing himself.
Yeah, he altered the security.
Wow.
Yeah, how did he do that? I don't know. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit, as Kyle would say.
How? That really broke me there.
Because back then it would have just been tape, like VHS tape. So what did he do? Go in and just alter the fucking tape on?
Or just take the tape away.
No, he altered it, Chase. He altered it.
And he added audio and everything, too. So it was him, like, crying and whining and threw himself out. And then, like, Edward wrote him a suicide note. So the police are like, okay, well, this is...
Did he use his brainwave manipulation, invention to do that? I honestly can't even remember.
No, it was pretty cut and dry that because he took it off of him. He took it off of him, and he was like, you let me go right now. And he's like, okay, we'll do, and let him go over the waterfall. So, yeah, it wasn't that. I don't know how he did it. This is before AI.
Well, whatever. As I said in regards to Bruce's tunnels and other things, don't ask questions. Don't do it.
Can in this movie. If you do that, you'll be spending 3 hours asking a bunch of questions.
But whatever. This moment is important because this is when Nygma really turns to the, quote, dark side. This is when, like, he unleashes and truly becomes the evil villain that he is capable of, right? I mean, that was his big turning moment. And I think after this is when Bruce receives a second riddle at Wayne Manor.
Yes. And then he's got to go pick up Nicole Kidman.
And he's got to go consult
Dr.
Dr. Meridian, who establishes whoever's leaving the riddles as a fucking wacko and obsessed with Bruce. That's not her projecting her own thoughts or her own feelings about the situation, right?
Yeah, she goes out of doctor mode at that point in time. She's like, he's a wacko. And I was like, I don't know very many psychologists that would just write someone off like that, especially someone they're supposed to help.
We got to talk about the scene for a second because some of it's starting to come back to me. Remember he breaks her door?
Yeah.
What was she doing?
She was like kickboxing.
Yes, that's right. She was kickboxing. She was working out. She was in her office working out and grunting and stuff, and he thought that she was in danger, so he breaks her giant, like 20-foot wooden door, just pulls it off the hinges.
Made of full oak, too.
Full oak. So I get that Bruce and Batboy are strong, but like
he's not wearing a suit or his boots or anything. He's in normal, like everyday attire.
Batman's not a super powered superhero. Yeah. He's an everyday vigilante
with a bunch of gadgets.
Citizen, with a bunch of gadgets and money. He doesn't have some sort of strength that comes from mystifying rock.
What's the joke about like Batman? Like where he's like, where people would get in like arguments would say, who would win in a battle, Batman or Superman? Is like, how much prep time does Batman have? And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, yeah.
And she is so anti-Bruce Wayne. She just wants her Batman. But he convinces her to go to the circus with him.
There's some sort of like causation and like attraction between the two.
It's called $1 billion.
But I think they don't... I'm sure that if you asked Joel Schumacher and whoever wrote this script, they're probably like, well, we wanted to make it seem like it was a natural attraction because Bruce is Batman, and like Dr. Meridian subconsciously like realizes that.
Yeah. And
and that's probably true.
Well, and two, she's a psychologist.
Yeah.
And there's an attraction from Batman because he is... At this point, Bruce Wayne sees all these like visions of his parents dying and a bat flying towards him. So he sees that a lot, and it happens frequently in this movie in weird spots where he just like, and like he has this like flashback of his parents dying and all this other stuff. They do actually do a good scene with it earlier, but Joel Schumacher wanted to do an origin story of Batman. The studio told him no. They said do a continuation of what Tim Burton did, even though it's not. And it kind of paved the way for Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. He almost casted Christian Bale as Robin, is apparently one of the rumors.
Really?
Yeah, he
must have been a young Christian Bale, too.
It would have been that would Christian Bale have gotten the Batman job later
Thank
on?
God that didn't happen.
Yeah, so who knows? I do see some things in there that Joel Schumacher really wanted to do that I wish he would have gotten his way on because it would have made the movie a little bit better. I think an origin story of Batman at this point in time would have been a good start. But again, we got Batman Begins out of it, so there's no reason to harbor over that.
And any Joel Schumacher joint script, like team script, was never going to pan out.
And we'll say this in front of everyone. This is a $100 million budget. There's probably like 8 people writing that script and 6 producers probably looking over it and saying they want this and that and the other. There's probably so many hands in this pot.
So much oversight.
Yeah, that's what leads to these movies ending up trash like this. But anyway, so they go to the circus.
They go to the Hippodrome, an ode to the old New York Hippodrome, if you will, which I'm pretty sure where they filmed that was just like the Javits Center, like where it is now on like West Side Highway. But regardless, they go to the Hippodrome, which is the fucking circus. And
it's a charity event or something. I don't know. They kind of mentioned some stuff. But
Again, this is why I just don't love this Batman world. It's just yes, they try to make it much like the comic books, but like,
but yes and no, they do and they don't.
They add a layer of like frivolity to it that just ruins it.
Right, and they don't adhere to the origin of the comic books. It's like they skimmed them and they were like, okay, I think we got it, and then they just make up their own shit.
And did a little acid on the side,
right,
too.
and had to add in the 1960s Batman for like a comical effect. But
whatever.
We see the Flying Graysons.
Hey, what's the connection there, Chase? Why is that important? Who are the Graysons?
Because we're getting the Robin origin story.
Dick Grayson, right?
Dick Grayson.
That is Robin, in case you all didn't know.
Played by the great Chris O'Donnell.
The great
actor of our generation.
Yeah, truly. He's on par with Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's been on this show a lot.
Yeah, he has.
We've mentioned him a lot.
We have mentioned him. He'll never hear what we have to say. So
hope you're doing well, man.
Yeah, I don't hate you.
Yeah,
I actually put it out there. I'm sure you're a great dude.
Really think you had a lot of promise if it wasn't for these movies.
Yeah,
so
they ruined. You should have just done fucking comedies.
We'll say it right now. We blame Joel Schumacher.
Yeah, not you, buddy.
Yeah,
not you.
So keep on keeping on.
Hope you're out doing community theater or something. Keep up that fight. Don't let that fire burn out.
He still made a lot of money off these movies.
He made millions.
Yeah,
he made tens of millions.
I don't feel that sorry for
him. No, I don't either.
But we see the family, the Flying Graysons, this trapeze family that is really good. They're very good.
They're excellent. This is kind of like, it's not quite Cirque du Soleil, but like close.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got an old-timey kind of carnival. I actually kind of like this vibe that we had here because it was kind of the closest to the Tim Burton Batmans that we were going to get.
Yep.
But long story short, Two-Face shows up because what does he like to do? He likes to cause problems.
So him and his Goonies. Can we talk about his Goonies for a second? His henchmen and what they're dressed in and just how stupid their costumes were.
So dumb.
They look like they're not wearing like gimp suits, but it's kind of like...
What they're wearing and what Two-Face is wearing and how they're dressed is exactly what a 50-year-old executive says that kids from the 90s would appreciate. This is the same vision. It's like this like punk rock.
It's like almost steampunk bullshit.
Yeah, steampunk, colorful, bad to the bone.
This is what bad kids
grimy
are attracted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched 3 Nirvana music videos. I know.
Yes.
It's like that
Kurt
kind
Cobain's my idol.
Yeah. Pearl Jam and the Meat Puppets. I got it.
Soundgarden is my life anthem. Yeah, let's fucking rock.
So they're dressed like complete idiots, and they're all hunched over for whatever reason. They would never be able to fight.
They all look like they're like 5'7" to 5'10" too.
But they're probably like 6'4" if they weren't
probably
hunched.
Are. Yeah, but there's a duality to them. They have it's like a leather bodysuit.
Yeah,
that goes over their entire face. It's like a
What
pillow, like a leather pillowcase over their fucking heads with a zipper up the middle with a red and black side.
And all this is happening. Tommy Lee Jones is raising a giant, comically big bomb with a huge timer on it.
Like think Bomberman bomb.
Yeah.
But like 3 times the size.
It's completely massive. But I love this part of the movie because, and not for the right reasons, I love this part of the movie because the way that they treat this bomb, they don't act like it has any weight to it on it.
Nope.
Like, it's a 3 megaton bomb. It's like it is like as heavy as a nuclear
But
warhead.
it looks like it's like moving through water.
Right. It's like a beach ball.
Yeah.
Like they're throwing this shit around. At one point, like during this whole scuffle, the Graysons they're trying to do their acrobatic act to get the bomb out of the building, which there conveniently is a hatch at the very top of the roof. And Dick decides, I'm going to be the one to do it. And so they get the bomb to him as everyone's fighting. And Dick is able to get the bomb by carrying it over his head.
Yes.
Through the hatch.
Again, he's also not a superhero by any means.
And every landmark in this city is next to a big body of water. Because they throw it off the hatch, it just rolls into the water. Yeah,
I guess that's the Hudson, baby. Yeah. Which, again, we talked about the Hudson being not very deep in our infamous Godzilla episode. At that point where it exists in this world, it's not that deep. It's like 10, 12 feet. So, that's not going to fucking do anything.
It's going to blow half that building apart.
Yeah, the water is going to be completely ensconced on either side. It's going to create like a little tsunami. They make it look like nothing happens in this. Like there's a little rumble once it explodes. yeah, fuck that.
Like
No.
Like a stone in a pond.
It's a 12-foot deep river, not even at that point.
God.
Eat shit.
But he comes back in, and I think the wires got cut to the family, and so he comes back in, or at least looks through the hole and sees his family dead on the
fell
ground.
to their death.
Yeah, which Bruce looks at him and has a flashback to seeing his parents on the ground dead.
Yes.
So it's like, we get it. Batman's parents died. We get it now. Dick Grayson's parents died.
And right before that happened, Bruce like yelled out, "I'm Batman." He announced that he was Batman. Why did he do that? And why did no one hear? Why did no one hear him?
Because Two-Face was like, if Batman shows up and gives himself over, I won't detonate the bomb. And everyone was just so loud and yelling and screaming.
But you would have thought that maybe Dr. Chase or someone next to him would have heard it and been like, "Oh shit, here he is!
Here's Batman.
Here he is, Two-Face. Don't destroy us all."
He was like running towards Two-Face, yelling it.
Yeah.
And everybody was just so loud, which I guess in that situation, you may not believe he's Batman. Because, you could be thinking, he's just Batman. He's just saying that to save us kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, so, well, whatever.
So now we have an orphan.
Yeah, what does Bruce
fucking
do?
35-year-old orphan.
He takes in Dick Grayson as his
right, like in
orphan son. Or brother. I don't know.
Alfred's like... Yeah, the police said that they could watch him for a few. I was like, he is 35 years old, and that family had life insurance. He'll be fine.
They made it seem like he was like 17. I was like, this dude's not 17.
Yeah, they made it seem like he was like 8.
Yeah.
And he has a motorcycle, which is his thing, and he has like a robin on it. Ugh. It's like we're getting those kind of weird, like little, like my family said I'm like a robin because I was the best at flying around on the trap. I don't know exactly what the story was, but it's something stupid like that. But he goes to live with Batman or Bruce Wayne for a little bit.
And he's just like this derelict, like teenager, like rebellious, like, fuck you, fuck the world. I'm going to do what I want. I'm moving out.
But I'm
not gonna
sad.
Be here. But I'm sad and mopey.
And I'm getting along with Alfred. He seems to be the only one that cares about me because he made me a sandwich.
What gets Dick to stay, Chase? What kind of clicks?
He goes into the garage with Bruce Wayne. He's like, hey, and there's all these vintage motorcycles because that's the only hobby he has. And he's like, I wish somebody would stay around and fix them up. You know, they could use a little work. And maybe if someone fixed them up, they could keep one as a payment.
Yeah.
And so he ends up staying.
And then he steals the Batmobile that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not, it doesn't.
Well, I also want to point this up. So like we go back to Two-Face's lair, right? And this is when Riddler and Two-Face meet up because Riddler's going to pitch his idea to Two-Face. I know I'm skipping some scenes.
We're skipping like the creation of the Riddler. We got to talk about that little scene too, where he's
there
in his little apartment or whatever.
So the next scene, just moving along,
the Riddler was really impressed with what Two-Face did at the Hippodrome
because he was seeing it on his like little TV in his like apartment,
his shitty ass apartment
with this weird like
it's got like a greenish poop color all throughout.
It's like a typical like 130 square foot New York apartment
that a serial killer like lives in.
Yeah,
like, he's got all these weird gadgets and toys. He's got the
like
genie.
He's been living off macaroni and cheese in that apartment.
He's got a genie storyteller, like vending
which
machine
takes
thing
up
in the
45 square feet of that entire thing.
So that's like his roommate essentially. Or
ask it a bunch of questions.
That's his like living room, if you will.
And you're seeing him like make a bunch of shit. And
yeah, he's doing like crafts and like cutting out different letters from magazines and like newspaper clippings to have a variance of text and whatnot. And he's asking the genie like what his name should be. I don't even remember the names that he asked. It was dumb.
Mr. Question, I think.
Yeah, that was one of them. And then they eventually come to the Riddler, and this is when the Riddler is born, and he steps out and he meets Two-Face in his lair. He just kind of like walks in.
Which I love the fact that Drew Barrymore is a mistress in this.
Yeah, that was one of her like
quite surprising here.
It wasn't. I guess you could say it was a cameo, right? Like she was a name, wasn't she? At this point,
yeah,
she did E.T.
Yeah, I don't know the Drew Barrymore timeline.
I don't either.
Believe it or not.
But she was Two-Face's like
Sugar and Spice.
Yeah, it was his light side, his good side, if you will, because he had one that was dressed in black, and that would be Spice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them was going to be called Leather, and the other one, I think, Chain, too. But they decided that also couldn't be marketed to children, so they changed it to Sugar and Spice.
Is that a little too BDSM-y?
I think so.
Oh, this is already a very horny Batman movie, so they should have just fucking stuck with it. But
Nicole Kidman wasn't in this scene, so they had to like tone it down. But yeah, so he shows up at the scene. I guess this is the point in time where we can talk about the tension between Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey.
Yes.
In an interview with Jim Carrey, he talked about shortly before this movie started filming.
Oh, you're talking about the real tension.
The real tension,
yeah. We got to discuss this.
So it was in it was a New York steakhouse, I think, in Hell's Kitchen or something. I
thought it was just a diner, but they were going to like.
It was a big dinner before the shooting began.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones was at the table, and Jim Carrey was like, "Oh, I'm going to walk over and say how much, I respect his acting career," and like try to just like introduce himself and all this stuff. And as he goes up to like try to shake Tommy Lee Jones's hand, Tommy Lee Jones says, "I hate you, and I can't stand your movies and your buffoonery."
Yep.
Said that to him, and
that's
literally
almost word
shoot
for
him
word.
off. Yeah, shoot him off. So Jim Carrey was like taken back by that. He's like, why does he hate me so much? And there's rumors that I think Ace Ventura knocked one of Tommy Lee Jones's movies out of like a top spot or something. So he harbored that because he thought that the comedy was pretty lowbrow, which it's not wrong, but and then there's other people like Val Kilmer said that they were fine on set together and they end up becoming friends. I don't know. It's just Jim Carrey did say that there was tension to begin with.
And sadly, Tommy Lee Jones is a bit of an asshole, or so they say.
Yeah, I mean, he comes off as difficult to work with. Which leads me to my next point. Val Kilmer on this set did not talk to Joel Schumacher for 2 weeks while they were filming.
I would have done the same.
Yeah, but also Val Kilmer is notoriously hard to work with.
Is he actually?
Yeah.
R.I.P. though.
Yeah, he's
R.I.P.
Right. I mean, I'm sure that was just in his prime, and he was a lot of well-known actors are dicks.
A diva.
So, yeah. He was difficult to work with and very demanding and arrogant is what a lot of people on set said, and he refused to talk to Joel Schumacher for 2 weeks on set. So there was a lot of tension going on.
I don't think I would have ever talked to Joel Schumacher, if I'm being honest. I would have completely disregarded his every thought and idea. So I get that, but like...
I made Tombstone.
I get that, but 90s, different time, so...
Yeah, and back to it, the Riddler basically shows Two-Face the power of his new invention. And so Two-Face is like, yeah, we'll work together. And
they call it the Nygma tech or the box, if you will.
Rolls right off the tongue.
It's just a weird word.
Yeah.
I don't like saying it.
And then don't they go to E3 and show it off?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, they have some sort of like convention party thing. Is it called E3? Like, what is it?
Yeah, it's just... And Edward's starting to sell this product left and right.
Yeah.
Too. So, and he's
everyone is getting it in their home, hooking it up to whatever device. I guess it's their television.
Yeah, their television to bring. He's selling it as like a new way to experience television.
But really, he's just draining their
life,
and intelligence, which again, not really explained how.
It doesn't even make him any different,
no,
or any stronger. He doesn't do anything with it. It's very strange.
It's fucking bizarre.
So to get all this money too, to help like the tech, and they start stealing diamonds. So
they go to like museums and steal money and precious things such as diamonds and like art and whatnot. So they just start like rampaging through museums and through jewelry stores and shit like that.
Yeah, and that's how they end up. That's how he ends up selling it everywhere. And on top of that, like I found it weird that as all this is going on, Bruce Wayne is messing with Nicole Kidman. These are big ass robberies, right? He showed up for the first robbery with Two-Face, but he never shows up for any of the other robberies. And there's like, we're talking massive like Museum of History diamonds being like taken. And Batman doesn't do anything about that.
Doesn't do shit.
And it's obviously Two-Face and the Riddler.
And I want to talk about the Riddler's appearance. Like you could look at him and be like, oh, that does kind of look like Edward Nygma. He changes his hair. He has spiked like pink hair.
The best I could even describe it is if Carrot Top did drag.
Kind of. Yeah. In a sense, I would change the red to a true like magenta or pink though. And, it's not lengthy. He's like spiky. It looks like a military cut. Like, think like Lieutenant Surge from like Pokemon. And you can tell that like I said, I don't like the makeup in this. You can see all the powder and shit on the Riddler's face when he's in the Riddler costume. He's got these green goggles on, and then he has a bodysuit, a tight bodysuit. You can see Jim Carrey's junk at all times, and there's question marks, big black question marks all over it. And he's got a fucking cane, a gold cane that has the question mark at the top as the crest.
Yeah.
And that's him.
I think that suit was modeled after the 60s Batman, which Jim Carrey actually said that whoever... I need to look that up, but whoever played that role in the 60s Batman and who played the Riddler, he was a big fan of, so he modeled a little bit of his performance after that.
That's fair. I think we should touch upon the fact that Christopher Nolan Batman movies ruined some of these hokey ones for us, because when you go into the stark, dark reality of the Nolan movies.
I'm not even going to give it that much credit, because I think I can go back and watch the hokey Tim Burton movies and be fine. I can watch the 60s show and be fine.
That's fair.
Watching this,
it's just...
this is a kick to the dick.
Yeah, and like... I don't know. You're gonna tell me that Nygma puts his hair up every single time and gets in that jumpsuit and sprays his hair with hairspray, dyes it every fucking time just to go rob a bank?
Do you think that Two-Face 2 is like doing the stereotypical husband thing where he's like, I'm ready, and he's like waiting 45 minutes for him to be ready?
I just imagine he's got like a makeup station, like in like his bathroom,
with vanity bar.
Yeah, he's got a vanity bar, and he has to attach everything and brush up and touch up on his scars and add some like fake blood and different contours and colors. He has to. For the color hue that he has on his fucking face, he's got to touch it up every single time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to E3.
He's got a Nygmatech business party that they're hosting, and it's a big old shindig. There's a lot of people there. Gordon's there. Batman, or Bruce Wayne, shows up, which was like... My initial thought was like, that this is a disgraced employee who was fired. Why are you showing up at his events as if you're chums or whatever?
And Edward uses this time to be like, oh, look at, I got you. I'm selling millions of these. I'm making a lot of money. You could have had this product. He kind of does all that.
Even though it's, again, Bruce Wayne knows it's fucking like illegal and like morally bankrupt.
Right.
So,
Well, and Bruce knows what he's really using it for. Everyone else just think he's using it as like a interactive.
Yeah, why didn't
like a Quest 3?
Why wasn't this mentioned once by Bruce?
He never does. He should have called the police the first time. He could have stopped this entire movie.
Yes.
We're all over the place at this point, but don't we get like Robin stealing the Batmobile?
I think that already happened.
Okay.
I could have sworn that.
I was trying to figure out when that
happened shortly after Bruce showed him his motorcycle collection, because then he got comfortable at home, and then he waited one night for Alfred to open the door to the lair, which is right in like the living room. It's very obvious. Why don't you put that a little more in an indiscreet location?
It just has a normal doorknob.
But he like hops down like off the top banister on the second floor and barrels his way in, and he gets into the bat lair and steals the fucking Batmobile, drives down, beats up some roughnecks downtown who again look like
crashes it too.
He crashes it, and then like he gets overtaken by these goons, and Batman shows up to save him. And
they argue, and he's like, you need a partner. And he's like, no, I don't.
Batman's like, fuck off. We're not doing this right now. Go home, kid.
Yeah.
Even though you're 35 years old. Go home, kid. But yeah, that's an important part that I guess we missed, but it's easy to do so in this movie because honestly, if you can't tell, I'm pretty fuzzy about most shit that we've talked about. But back to this stupid Nygmatech business dinner, whatever.
I wanted to also point out the fact that when he was in we're calling it E3. I love that. So when he was in E3, Batman went and
it is E3 though, right? It is E3 for sure.
Something Enigma 3. So he goes into the back to try the brain. I told you he tried it on. He tried that on knowing that he is extracting memories and information from this piece of technology.
What? He didn't just do it willingly, though. There was something. Wasn't he coerced into it?
No, he just kind of like
Okay.
People were coming in and out, and he's like, I'm wondering about my.
Oh yeah, he sneaks into the back. That's right.
And he tries it.
He might have beaten up a goon or two, and then he puts it on.
Right, and it's like, what the like? You know what this is used for. So now,
and why would they make it difficult for him to even put that on if that's their main goal from the start?
Why wouldn't they just tie him down and put it on him?
But
I will say this: they didn't know Bruce Wayne was Batman, and that was their whole thing.
That is true.
So they're able to get the information that Bruce Wayne is Batman from using this thing. But again, Bruce should have known that. Again, he's the real villain in this movie. Batman is awful in this movie.
Yeah, he knew about this shit and he didn't fucking act upon it.
And
he didn't even acknowledge it.
And I'm going to say this right now: Batman has us all fooled. Everyone's rooting for a billionaire, and I will not stand for this. Root for Superman. He had no money. He grew up on a Kansas farm.
I'm going to blame Val Kilmer here. This just feels like it's partially his fault too. No offense, Val. I know you're not with us, and I'm not trying to mock your spirit, but like
I am. You put in a bad shift on this movie.
You really didn't do a good job.
You didn't give a shit.
Maybe
you should have talked to Joel those like other 2 weeks, and you wouldn't have had this.
Bruce Wayne's lack of effort and
resolve
and getting Nygma arrested from the start parallels Kilmer's acting job in this. It's just lethargic and effortless.
So now
and I don't mean effortless in a good way.
No, it's.
There's no effort.
And it's not an effortless watch to go through. So they now know it's Bruce Wayne. So now what do? They show up at Wayne Manor.
Yeah, he has a moment. He has Dr. Chase with him.
And Nicole Kidman is starting to fall for Bruce Wayne instead of Batman.
Because Batman visited her like the night prior after that Nygma Tech thing. There was some shit that went down there, right? Like people got like held hostage or whatever. There was some sort of ordeal with
it's just basic
stupid villain people causing
there's random
shit.
Fight scenes in this movie that don't make any sense. Yeah.
But he after that night, that's when he went and visited Nicole Kidman, Dr. Chase, and that's just when she tells Batman, she's like, I think I'm in love with someone else. And Batman's okay, and he acts hurt as if like he doesn't know who it is.
And he turns around, smiles, and walks off. And I'm like, oh my god.
Did he smile?
Yeah, he like gave a little smirk.
Okay, I might have missed that. I thought he actually like acted
everything
pouty.
in this movie is shot in such a dark light that you can't see anything.
But again, fast forward to where we were. Two-Face, Nygma are looking through, I guess, the replay of his brainwave manipulation. What do you even fucking call it?
I know.
The box.
Yeah, the box is what he calls it.
But knows that Bruce Wayne has put it on, and he sees stuff about a bat and like being afraid of a bat and other things, and they're like, who could that be? And this is where we get back to...
And then they show up at Wayne Manor, and they're like, Nicole Kidman's character's there, and it's like...
They're having a tender moment.
Yeah, he's like... She's basically confessing her love to him.
And he's probably about to confess that he's Batman.
Yeah.
Because he says, I've never told anyone this
or
before.
Or
Yes.
The relationship between the Riddler and Two-Face.
Dude, we're at this scene right now. We're at this scene. I mean, when they like celebrate and party together, they're getting like touchy-feely. Like they grab each other and like pull each other in, but like thrust their hips forward when they do that. They make their way to Wayne Manor, and it's Halloween, and there's trick-or-treaters, and this is where they find their inn. But when they're outside the gate, they're like celebrating and like getting antsy, and like they've got hands around necks and like around waist, and again they pull in at the hips. There was some weird sexual tension between them. It made sense personally. They were both eccentric, weird, psychotic characters. I wouldn't have second guessed.
I honestly would have said it would have made the movie better.
But this is where we get to the point where they overtake Wayne Manor. The goons rush in the living room and knock over the sofa that they're sitting on, and they
tie Alfred up, and then
they fucking threw that old man in a closet. They fucking tossed that 93-year-old man, because I think he was pretty fucking old.
He gets thrown around, and then they shoot Bruce Wayne in the head.
Yeah, or was it his chest? I don't think he got shot in the head. I think he hit his head and he had that gash there.
Yeah.
But he got shot.
Well, the way that they shoot it, I always thought he got shot in the head as a kid.
It looked like
it's a very aggressive scene.
I had to rewind and rewatch it again. I was like, did he just fucking die? What happens?
Well, and I think they shot it that way to make you think he gets shot in the head.
Whatever, cheap shit. But
yeah, and then they blow up the Batcave and blow up all.
Yeah, the
Batman's
Riddler has
tech.
those stupid grenades. What were those? Do you remember what they looked like?
They're like little question marks almost.
With
and
like a ball.
Yeah, he just threw them and they would just go boop, 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 and then explode.
But yeah, he destroyed everything in the Batcave. But they knock him unconscious. He falls down the stairs. They don't take Bruce Wayne. They fucking take Dr. Chase. Mm-hmm. Why don't they just take them both? They have Alfred locked in a closet.
Don't they take Dick Grayson too?
I think he gets away. Doesn't he get away? Yeah, he gets away.
He ends up in the.
He ends up in the.
Oh yeah. So he does get away, but yeah. So they just take her for whatever weird reason. Which you would think if you wanted to kill him, right? You would kill him.
He's unconscious. He's literally sitting there at the bottom of the stairwell.
You have a gun, which is weird because you were using all this like cartoonish shit, and then all of a sudden a fucking Beretta 9mm is brandished, and then like
and also Nygma, Riddler, and Two-Face had talked about how they're not going to kill Batman. You got Riddler over in the corner, Two-Face in the corner, flipping his coin. He finally gets the coin, the head, or whatever it is that he wants, and then he just up and shoots Batman. Like, why is he even doing that if they don't want to kill him just yet?
You know what's funny is there's a scene, because, like, we don't talk enough about the comic book origins of anything, but here's one, is Two-Face flips a coin, and he basically decides your fate on if it's heads or tails. And doesn't he have a two-sided coin or something?
It's not even heads or tails. It's like
it's a double-sided coin.
Double-sided coin, yeah.
Yeah. So it's always, like, rigged. So a lot of, like, comic book enthusiasts had a problem with him flipping the coin 3 times. He flips it 3 times.
3 times.
And looks at it, flips it again, looks at it again, and flips it again, looks at it again. And everyone's like, oh, he's just flipping to get the desired outcome he wants. And it's like, oh, no, it's a two-sided coin. He's always going to get the outcome. And so people are like, he would never flip it 3 times. But I did think it was kind of clever because in this scene, he flips it 3 times to decide the fate of the 3 people. Alfred, Bruce Wayne, and Nicole Kidman.
Chase.
Yeah.
But, all right, Chase, we're getting to that point where this is when I started to doze.
The brain started blowing up?
Dude, yeah.
Well, nothing happens. So
I mean, he wakes up.
I
remember this, and Alfred's sitting over his face. Alfred's fine. Somehow.
How did Alfred get untangled?
Yeah, he got out of the closet.
Wouldn't it be great if he woke up and Alfred was just like malnourished and dead?
Or like
it was like 3 weeks later.
Or like naked. He had like brain trauma injury and like was just walking around in his skivvies, his fucking whitey tighties.
That would have been a better movie.
It would have been. It would have made more sense.
But he wakes up and Alfred's found time to not only in between waking Bruce up, but getting a costume ready for Dick Grayson, who's now Robin, because he told the story about his family calling him. Whatever, I'm not backtracking anymore. So they they know where I don't even know how they know where Two-Face went.
Well, they don't know where he's at, but they know that they took Dr. Chase.
Yeah,
that's what Alfred.
But somehow
says.
they find where it is. And
the Riddler has this giant.
Oh, it's all the riddles I remember this now. All the riddles he had gotten. He basically, he
solves them all right away.
Between
too.
Batman being dumb and the Riddler being dumb. Well, I mean, the one of them was like, I tell time and I have 2 hands, and it's like, oh, it's a clock. Like it was like stupid riddles like that. Like it didn't take much to solve.
No.
So they just solved those and know where he's going, and now he accepts Robin. Oh, I need a sidekick, which backfires on him almost instantly because Robin gets kidnapped once they get there.
Which you would expect something like that, but it's this giant.
It's so funny. It's so funny that he's like, "Oh boy, oh howdy, I get my chance," and they send him back to 1960s Robin when on this scene because they even throw in the kind of the Easter egg line where he's like, "Holy rusted metal, Batman." It's like they're on this oil rig or something.
It's an oil rig, but it's also like Riddler's like lair that he somehow constructed over the past like month, just instantaneously. That's now towering above
the Hudson.
Yeah, whatever.
There's so many structures like towering in the Hudson. Like every architecture is like built like single-handedly in the Hudson. Whatever.
All right, so you're gonna have to carry because I don't remember. I remember Batman like falling into some like gravel and being pulled out by Robin, but that's about it. Get us to the fucking end, Chase. Seriously. We're we've harbored long enough on this stupid bullshit.
The final showdown here,
Yeah.
where the Riddler has Batman in the top of this oil rig, and he's wearing a wonderful new suit now. It's now silver with black question marks, and he looks absolutely absurd.
So he looks a little more fabulous.
Elton John costume change for the Riddler, and he basically has Robin captured and Dr. Chase, and he's got them in these tubes, I guess, these glass tubes hovering over the water, and he pulls a trap door to show that they're going to fall to their icy death. And he's giving Batman a choice. He's like, you can pick one, your love interest or your partner. Which in that case, like, I was hoping that they both would die, but I didn't get an option. I would have let them both fall. And before he tells him to choose, he's like, I got a riddle for you. And he's like, what is blind but can also see? And he's like, or something like that. I can't even remember the line. It was really stupid. And he was like, oh, you're blind as a bat. I got it. And he starts celebrating. He's like, yeah. He pulls this like lever and these glasses go over his eyes to blind him. And he throws his batarang that uses echolocation, and it hits the transmission of the box. Is that what we're calling it? The E3 box?
Like, sure.
The Xbox?
Yeah.
So,
great.
So knocks the transmission out, which I don't understand, A, why he had to shield his own eyes to throw the batarang. B, why he just couldn't throw just a normal batarang, why it had to be an echolocation batarang. And what that riddle had anything to do with knocking out the transmission to the box, which sends the Riddler into a frenzy, so he drops both of them. So Chase starts falling, so does Robin, and Batman, of course, uses like his grappling hook, this crazy, weird thing, and Robin uses his like gymnast powers to, they all land on this like, I guess 3 foot wide steel beam.
I guess it just happened to be.
It happened to be in the middle of the oil ring. So they land perfectly on it. And then Two-Face shows up somehow. He's on another 3 foot wide beam, standing perfectly. And he's got a gun. And he's like, I'm gonna kill Batman now. Which again, you had the chance to do that earlier. And so he's getting ready to pull the trigger. And he's like, "Whoa, Harvey, don't you need to flip a coin first?" He's like, oh, yeah. So he goes to flip his coin, and Batman takes a bunch of loose change that he just
happened to have in his bat suit. Because he thought this through and knew that this scenario was going to happen.
And he threw prep time. He threw a bunch of coins in the air, and so Harvey's losing his lucky coin, and he slips off the beam and falls to his death. And so they're saved, and they get up to the Riddler. And because the transmission's out, I guess it reversed the brainwaves. He's like beaten, basically, and he's like sitting there. And he looks a mess. And basically they capture him. And my memory gets foggy here, but I do remember the movie ending with Dr. Chase being part of the Riddler's like psychiatric team. So she goes to Arkham Asylum.
They go to Arkham Asylum, and she goes up and talks to Dr. Burton, who is Tim Burton, right? Yep. And she's like, I heard the Riddler might know some things, might know who the Batman is. Yeah. And she goes up to the cage or whatever of the cell that he's in, and
she's like, who's Batman?
And he's like, you have to say please. And she's like, Edward, please tell me who the Batman is. And he rises up and
with his straitjacket.
He's flapping his arms as if they were wings. He's like, I'm the Batman. I'm the Batman. We talked about how he got his brain melted, right?
Yeah, and that wraps up Batman Forever, basically. Everyone's good. Robin goes back to Wayne Manor. Bruce Wayne is now with Dr. Chase, and she does not know his secret identity, even though she probably could figure it out.
I think she has an idea. And then he hands her that little voodoo, weird fucking, like, equivalent of, like, a Dream Weaver type toy. And it's like, I don't need this anymore.
It's like basically like this ritual thing.
Yeah, she gave it to him way back in their first meeting at her office or whatever. It's irrelevant, but he gives that to her. They start making out. It pans to Alfred, who's like grinning like a madman. I was like, dude, that's disgusting. Are you a voyeur, Alfred? Like, what's going on here?
I have a line that sums up this whole movie.
Let's hear it.
And it kind of goes back just a little bit, but there's a segment of time where Riddler is defeated, and he goes, "Why can't I kill you?" And I was like, I paused the movie at that point in time. I was like, "You've had like 35 chances to kill him.
You could have killed him when he was unconscious on his steps."
And I wish you would have, because there wouldn't have been a sequel. So that wraps it up. That's it. Like, there's no more.
We took way too long. I mean, we usually always do, but God, that was a journey.
It was a long movie. It was like 2 hours, right?
It was like 2.5, I thought.
So the question here, because I think the audience knows where we're going with this, but do you remember it being good as a kid?
Yeah, I remember liking them. I remember liking this one and Batman and Robin. I remember enjoying them and being entertained. I don't remember it because I was a little too young when I first watched them, and probably didn't watch them again. Maybe there was a reason for that, but I remember liking them. Yeah, for sure.
I remember liking this one way more than Batman and Robin when I was a kid. I loved this movie. Like, I couldn't figure out the Sega Genesis game, but it didn't stop me from playing it. It didn't stop me from playing with the action figures.
See, I liked them both. I think I liked Batman and Robin a bit more just because I loved Mr. Freeze. But I told you, I love the Riddler, too. Like, the Riddler was an iconic villain for childhood me.
I loved the style of this movie when I was a kid. This played into a kid's imagination.
Like I tell you, it feels like the set is a fucking board game. Like, it's not real.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that plays into the childlike mind.
So now that we've seen them both, which one's better?
I think this one is definitely better. I really do. They're both bad. You're comparing, two different types.
Pile of shit to pile of shit.
Yeah, one's like cat shit, and the other is like a big steaming pile of horse shit. They're both not great. They both smell, but the horse shit is a little bit more overpowering, and that is Batman and Robin, whereas the other would be the cat shit. So this movie.
Most cats bury their shit, too.
Yeah, exactly. And the smell goes away, and if you step in horse shit, your shoe's ruined. So
I hated both these movies so much. I don't even know if I could pick one to be. It's to say that one is better is giving one of these movies too much credit.
I considerably liked this one more.
But if Tommy Lee Jones put a gun to my head and started flipping a coin, I would tell you Batman Forever probably was a little bit better.
Yeah, there were moments where I thought Batman Forever was okay, but damn, it just those moments did not last very long, and the campiness and just bad writing and sexual tropes and just everything that we've discussed just
so bad.
Yeah, it ruins it. But there were some moments. There were some cool moments. There's not many that I can just really bring to mind. It's more of just like a feeling sitting there on the couch. Okay, I'm all right with this. That happened far more often than Batman and Robin with this one. So
I agree.
It's not great. It's not good. But I think Batman and Robin is truly one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And I don't think this one is quite that inflammatory.
Right.
So
you're looking at like top 20 worst movies versus a top 5 worst movie, probably.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Or top 40.
Does it hold up?
What do you think?
It does not hold up.
No, it does not hold up at all.
Not even close.
It's not good.
You know what's funny is a lot of people go back and nostalgically talk about this movie and how they think it actually is a really good comic book movie, and it's misunderstood. It's not misunderstood. It's terrible. It was bad at the time. It's bad now. If you're not a child, you're not going to like it. That's the bottom line. I don't know how to sum it up anymore than that.
Unless you're a 6-7-year-old who doesn't, think, just watches and enjoys and stares with bewilderment as if you were hooked up to the Nygma box.
I'll tell you what, I watched this movie and my brain waves slowed down.
Yeah, I fell asleep watching the final 40 minutes or so.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, it's a shame because, like, you think of these movies from our childhood and they were fairly important in terms of
it made
pop
76 million at the box office. Yeah,
346 or 336, but it had cultural relevance. It was a big part of our little kid fascination. It was a big part of why I fell in love with Batman, but the movie fucking sucks.
It's so bad.
It's just trash. It's just not good.
Yeah.
And there's no other way around it.
We tried, though.
We did. We gave up 2.5 hours to watch this shit. So
Do we want to hit an IMDb rating on this?
yeah, let's hear yours.
I was trying to remember what I gave Batman and Robin.
I think Batman and Robin was like in the 2s for me.
Yeah, it was low. I'm going to say 3.8, not knowing what I gave Batman and Robin. And if Batman and Robin, I think Batman and Robin's lower than that, but
Yeah, I think actually mine was in the 2s. Yours and Kyle's were like in the decimals. I'm not even kidding. You didn't want to give it anything. I was going to give this one like a 4.3.
Okay, then
4.4.
Oh, it's so high.
It is pretty high, but it's still not good.
I don't even know. 3.8 seems very high to me. I just didn't know what I gave Batman and Robin. If I gave Batman and Robin in the decimals,
Yeah, you were like 0.5.
I give this one like a 2.3 or something like that. It was so bad. But once you get below 4, like it's like it all is hogwash.
I think the only thing that redeems it is knowing the campiness and understanding it's just a complete hoax show. If you go into it with that mentality, you can get through it, but you're still not going to enjoy yourself. So,
well, Andrew, do you want to do the honors for this episode?
well, folks, we dug into your childhood memories. We pulled out Batman Forever. We didn't enjoy watching the 2.5 hours that it was and decided that it doesn't hold up, and don't go back and watch it. Just play with your action figures. That's much better use of your time.
Drink
than
some
watching
coffee
this.
from that mug that you got
Yes.
from McDonald's.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. That was really good.
I knew what you say, but you put me on the spot, and I kind of got a little
so
shitty there for a
that
second.
wraps it up for season 4 and Summer Blockbusters. We had a lot of fun reviewing those. Catch us again in 2 weeks. We'll start our season 5 right off the bat. We got some fall weather coming. We also got October around the corner. Going to hit some horror movies
And football.
and football. You never know. Little Giants may show up in there. We'll
Maybe
see.
Remember the Titans.
We do have some other guests coming down the pipe. So there's a lot to look forward to with Hold Up in the future. Please follow us on Andrew's favorite TikTok and Instagram to find out what movie we're doing next. If you have a suggestion for a movie, we love suggestions. You can always shoot us a DM, a comment, or even go to our website and send in a request there. In the meantime, we hope you have a good rest of your summer, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.